I really didn't know what to expect when I first heard about Pato Box. A Punch-Out style game with a boxing duck as the protagonist and in black and white. It sounded pretty weird, but in a good way. The game itself surpassed my expectations and I've been really enjoying it, but this is an impressions video rather than a review because I'm stuck on one particular area. It's a tough game and rather than get frustrated with it, I'd rather take a break and come back to it later. In Pato Box you play as a champion boxing duck. The game starts off as you lose your title and you're left for dead after being stabbed. You recover and work your way through your former employer's mansion, taking down his generals to eventually reach him and find out who tried to kill you. Along the way you learn more about your origin and how a humanoid duck came to exist, and become a boxing champion. I don't want to say more than that about the story since there are twists and turns to discover, but the story had me hooked and the villains are very dislikable, which is what you want from villains. I expected the game to be a series of continuous boss battles like Punch-Out, but there's a lot more to the game. For each villain you explore their floor of the building, learn more about them and your origins before you eventually fight them. The battles are reminiscent in the style of Punch-Out. You block and dodge to avoid attacks and punch high or low with your left or right fist to attack. The basics of the battle system are easy to get to grips with, and if you've played Punch-Out then you'll feel right at home with Pato Box. But the game does a good job of mixing up fights and making the battles completely different. It's not easy at all, and each battle took me quite a few tries to really be able to read each enemy's attack patterns to be able to counter them and properly attack back. You have to be so precise in your timing of dodges and attacks. When an enemy attacks, they leave themselves momentarily open, and you have to seize that opportunity or miss your window to attack. If you take too much damage, you will start the match from the beginning, which can be frustrating when you get an enemy to the final stage of the match. This is the kind of game that can make you want to throw your Vita at a wall, but there's a great sense of accomplishment to finally beating a tough foe. As I said, to reach a battle you need to explore the enemy's floor and unlock the path to them. Each enemy is a different themed area, from a polluted sewer to a meat factory to a casino to a lab full of mutant experiments. The tasks to unlock the boss are very varied. I did find they could be hit or miss though. Some were interesting, but I did get frustrated at having to collect enough money in the casino to unlock the boss, or walking around the maze in the lab where every wall looked the same because of the black and white graphics. The sections in between fights extend the playtime significantly, but I think cutting them a bit shorter would have been preferable. Also, I would have liked to have had a run button, because I just wanted to move the story along. It just feels like you're walking quite slowly. The graphics were great. It reminded me of a black and white animated comic book. It was so stylish. The enemies were all so different and distinct. On my OLED Vita, Pato Box looked particularly good. The music wasn't anything special. I played on mute for the most part. I think voice acting would have added to the game. There isn't a massive amount of dialogue, and I think it would have just enhanced the cutscenes, but it's not that big a deal. So, Pato Box is really challenging, but it's also really unique in its execution and style. It takes the gameplay of Punch-Out and adds a crazy story and totally crazy boss fights. Sure, some of the filler stuff could have been shaved down, but despite this I'm looking forward to seeing how it ends. So guys, have you played Pato Box? And what did you think of it? Leave a comment below, and as always, thanks for watching.